Hey guys, welcome to another episode of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, where a couple of years ago Robin and I did 365 days of 365 activities in New Zealand. That was a whole lot of activities and we had a whole lot of fun, and in this episode it was no different. We were headed to the town of Opunake, which is in the Taranaki region, and the really cool thing about this town is that there's so many things to see really close together. You have a beautiful beach, and we were actually staying at the Opunake holiday park, which was right on the beach, and that was a really cool place to base ourselves for the time and also base ourselves on a budget. But also it was a short walk to the centre of town where there was so much to see, and there was the Opunake walkway, which had a little bit of a lake and that sort of thing. So we're going to go through all that in this video, and then at the end we are going to go through all the comments and questions you guys had about Opunake. So enjoy the video and see you at the end. Today we're waking up in the lovely Opunake holiday park to the sounds of the waves crashing onto the beach, because this holiday park is right on the beachfront, and the beach is actually a renowned surf beach along the Surf Highway 45.
We passed a very small dune to arrive on the beach, and the beach is subject to the tide, and right now it's low tide, so we have like a massive amount of reflection, so we can see ourselves on the, like literally on the floor while walking, which is pretty cool.
And we take a stroll through town, and the first thing we notice is this crazy looking cinema, well, which is also, it's a theatre slash cinema. It's like a vintage style. It's got like massive pictures of huge names in the film business. You can't miss this theatre.
Then we head to Opunake Lake, which is literally a small stroll away. And yeah, it's a pretty big lake, which is part of the Opunake walkway that we were planning on doing today, so may as well start at the lake, right? First thing that we notice is that, well, the lake has been overtaken by ducks and swans. Laura is going mental taking pictures.
So we're picking up the walkway from the lake. The walkway does the perimeter of the lake and continues on its merry way. But we get distracted by the fact that there is a river here. We didn't expect to see a river. But on one side of the river there's just like a bit of a cliff edge, and on the other side of the river is like a nice shallow section with loads of pebbles. And from being a young kid, I've always been taught that if you see a river with pebbles, you must throw some skimmers into the river and see how many skimmers you can do. We give that a shot for a while. Then after a while we realise how old we are and we get back on our way onto the walkway.
We also spot a couple of graves, which were from famous people from the town as well, and two young kids that died really young, and Laura is very surprised by how young those kids died. Well, they went to war, Laura. They don't send the elderly to war, they send the young ones.
Think you're funny, do you?
I am. While walking from the lake, we actually take on the coastal part of the Opunake walkway, which goes through a couple of farmlands, but straight away arrived right on the cliff above the holiday park where we're currently staying. So we've seen the cliff from the bottom, now we see the cliff from the top, and the view is incredible. You walk down and you have like all those black rocky shores, and the cliff is, you know, a couple of hundreds meters high, so it's quite an impressive view.
The sun is starting to set and we see in the distance it is Mount Taranaki. It looks amazing, and
I just can't get enough of this mountain. I start going nuts, taking photos, I'm setting up the tripod. This volcano is just taking all the attention. I'm going nuts for this volcano. Obviously, the first thing I notice is there are a shit lot of birds here. And I'm not talking about the female kind. Oh God. I'm getting delirious because I've done these videos for too long now.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and got to see a part of New Zealand that, to be honest, not a lot of people get to see other than the locals that know it exists. But we did get one comment on this video from Christian saying, hey guys, why did you feature Opunake? I've never heard of it. Well, there's probably there's a lot of places in New Zealand that people haven't heard of. The main places people do know about are usually the towns of like Auckland, Christchurch, Queenstown, Rotorua. But that's mainly because they're sort of larger towns in New Zealand. But across the whole country, there's a whole lot of smaller towns which are really worth having a look at and exploring, just like we did in this video, because you'll find that all towns really have like loads of different stuff to do. There's usually at least one short walk to do, which is a good way to see some of the scenery around. There's usually at least a museum in a lot of the towns, which we do feature a lot of on New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. Usually when there's a rainy day, there's a museum as a backup activity. Yeah, also there's also, depending on where the town is, there's beaches, there's mountains to go check out, there's usually a waterfall somewhere. This is New Zealand, waterfalls are everywhere. So yeah, there's usually a lot to explore around New Zealand, and Opunake was the town sort of at the end of the Surf Highway 45. If you remember, a couple of episodes back, we did Surf Highway 45, which was just going around the west coast on Taranaki to see some various different surf towns, and then right at the end of the Surf Highway is Opunake. So we've sort of, got to visit the town at the end of that Surf Highway, which was really cool. And yeah, the theatre there as well was really unique and different, although we didn't get time to actually go see a movie there. There's a lot of those sort of boutique cinemas and stuff around New Zealand, again in the small towns, so that's always really cool to check out. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video, and if you do have any comments or questions of your own, make sure to put them in the comments section of this video or any other one of our videos. Alternatively, you can come onto our live Q&A session, which we do on YouTube every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. That's probably one of the best places to get your questions answered directly by us when we are answering questions on the couch during our live Q&A session. You just need to put your comments in the live chat and it's as easy as that. Otherwise, head over to nzpocketguide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's 100% free to use, and so you can go and explore all those thousands of articles, which also feature all the small towns in New Zealand that you probably never heard of, but they are definitely worth visiting if you want to get off the tourist trail. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. Join us next time where we have some more fun from New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, so see you then.